Melanie's Matters TV and radio. We highlight artists, business owners, and we talk about the matters of the community. Author Derek Dixon speaks on autism. Hi ladies and gentlemen, it is Melanie. Welcome to my forum. This is the Melanie's Matters show. Today we have with us actually a few parents who are going to stop by and educate us a little bit about autism, and they have children who are autistic. So they want to tell us some of the things maybe we don't really know about autism, and this is what April, so April is National Autism Month. So we're definitely bringing awareness to the issue of, it's not even an issue, to the subject matter of autism. So with me we have Mr. Derek Dixon. Derek, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us about your journey. Tell us how you became involved with knowing about autism.
I adopted my son, and I adopted him when he was 6 years old. And when I did adopt him, I noticed different patterns that he was going through, and I wasn't really aware. I never really heard of autism. You know, so for me to think, oh, he's autistic or he has autistic traits.
Like, what is that?
I didn't have no idea. You know, because growing up, we didn't discuss or we never heard about autism. You know, there was different, you know, terminology or something like that, but you weren't really tested for something like that.
That is true.
You were, you know, so going through, seeing him do little things, you know, people would say, does he do this, does he do that? So he used to walk on his tippy toes all the time. And I thought, yeah, he does do that. Or, you know, how he was very repetitious with things. You had to have them in a certain order and stuff like that. So I finally went and got him tested because he was having issues like in school, little behavioral, you know, problems and things like that. So once I went and got him tested, they did say that he was on the autism spectrum. And there's different levels. Different levels, you know, a lot of people, he's kind of mid. He's very functional, but his autism does hinder him as far as educational wise. You know, he is 14 years old, but he is like still on like a 5-year-old level as far as education wise. So the journey of it was really taught me a lot, that I, in a different world where you, you know, you can't treat them, but you try to treat them as a normal child. So there's so many different things that we have to do differently. It's a lot of patience. You have to have a lot of patience, because even like with the behavioral problems, one day, you know, an autistic child just might, you know, have a spaz out on you just because you tell them no. It could be something simple. You know, can I watch TV for 30 more minutes? No, you have to get ready to bed. And that is a big dramatic thing, because they didn't hear just no, because you have to get ready for school. They heard, you know, no, you're not watching it. No, get to bed. So in their mind, that's what they heard. You know, so sometimes it's like there always can be defensive on that defense mechanism. You know, I also learned that he has seizures as well. He has a seizure disorder. So on top of that, you know, being autistic and having a seizure disorder, you know, every time that he does have a seizure, it affects his brain cells for him to learn and things like that. But what I also learned is that by us talking, we're processing what each other are saying right now. Well, sometimes with autistic children, it takes a minute
for them to grab it,
to hear it, but for them to grasp it, to understand it. And I remember there was times I would say, pick this up. And, you know, you're looking around and you're thinking it's obviously right there in front of you. But you have to be so detailed. Pick up the blue ball that is right in front of you by your feet. You have to be that detailed in order for them to get it. Because if you're not, you become frustrated. Because then you want to turn around and say, just do it yourself. But you want to teach them, but you have to be very detailed with them for them to understand. Yeah.
Wow. So how long have you had your son?
I'm 6 years old. He's now 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's now 14.
So yeah, been what, eight years?
Yes.
So I mean, for you, because this is training for you, because you didn't birth him.
Right.
So I'm assuming when you found out that he was autistic and, you know, things like that, what things had to change for you?
Educational-wise, I had to really educate myself. But being a single parent, being a single father, I was a flight attendant, you know, and I worked for the airlines for 28 years.
Right.
But I actually had to retire early because it was, you know, building that routine, building that rapport, building that trust with him. And then every time that I would leave to go on a flight, he would kind of gravitate back.
Okay.
And
like regress
and go through behavioral problems while I was gone.
Wow.
But as soon as I walked in that door,
he was fine.
He was fine. So I thought, you know what, I had to make a decision. And I just said, you know, I've enjoyed it. We've had a good, you know, I've had a good time being a flight attendant. But this is my focus now, and this is something that I believe that God, you know, gave to me, placed in my hands to take care of this child. And it's every day is something new. You think you have it down, and I know people say, well, this is with any child. Well, yes, but every day, you know, you may be able to discipline your daughter and know that once you say a certain thing, she gets it.
Right.
When you have an autistic child, every time you have to constantly know that you have to try something new. Because what worked last week is not going to work this week.
Wow.
So it is constantly something that you're always trying, okay, let me try it this way, let me say it this way.
Right.
You know, in the mornings, you know, I have to make sure that I wake up in a positive mood.
Okay.
Because if I wake up in a negative mood and he picks up that vibe, he's carrying that with him.
Sure.
He's going to school with that. So you got to create a positive environment and turn it around, you know, for them. Like sometimes he'll get up, I'm not going to school today. And I don't fuss, because I used to fuss. Yes, you go. And we're fussing, and he's missing the bus now. I take him to school and everything. So every single time now, I'm not going to school. Okay. I'm not going to school today. Okay. And while he's doing all this, I'm putting on his shirt.
You're getting him ready for school.
Put your shoes on. Yeah, I'm not going. Okay. So come on downstairs. Let's eat. And by that time, he's like, is my bus here? And so I had to learn, don't get into that.
And be combative with them.
Be combative because they do. They will. It'll just escalate to another level. That's all it is. Is that once you take them there, it's going to another level.
Wow.
And you have to learn how to just, you know, to take it to another, you know, take it back down. And work with them. But you really have to have a good team to help you.
And you know what, before you get into that team, we're going to take a very brief break. We'll be right back. You're watching Melanie's Matters TV and radio show. A word from our sponsors. Do you want a vehicle that is exclusively for you? Call Cedric Lee at Exclusive Motor Cars. His number is 410-367-5327 or 443-630-7172. They're located at 4660 Reisterstown Road, Baltimore, Maryland 21215, and you can check out their inventory by visiting www.exclusivemotorcarsmd.com. And if you have credit problems, Cedric will help you with that as well. Better Detroit Youth Movement and Better Baltimore Youth Movement. Visit www.betterdetroityouth.org. Become a state licensed and certified insurance agent. You'll be certified to market life, health, auto, and home. A 3-day course is just $99. Also offering online courses to get your investment license for free. Make the call today that could change your life. Call 410-365-4665. Carport Sedan Services. Wherever you need to go, we will get you there quickly and safely. Call 410-233-8800 or 410-233-8801. Serving all of Baltimore and surrounding counties. An old adage states, it takes a village to raise a child. That adage is key when raising a child who has autism. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So before the break, Derek mentioned the team. And as we all know, and as you probably can imagine if you didn't know, it takes a team to help with a child, with any child, but particularly a child who is diagnosed with being autistic. So Derek, tell us a little bit about your supportive team.
You have to have one. The saying, it takes a village. It truly takes a village. Yeah. When I heard that before, that the neighbor down the street could say, get home, or something like that.
Right.
But, that was like the neighborhood watch.
Gotcha.
With it, you need an actual team to be able to, help you get through the day. And not just your child, but myself.
I was going to say that, and that's very important, because a lot of times I can, imagine just with my daughter, sometimes it's draining.
Right.
It's draining. Yeah. So I can only imagine with a child who has been diagnosed with autism that you need help. You need support yourself.
You do need support because you have the school calling you. They're like, oh, he's doing this today, and they want you to come pick him up. They want you to give them suggestions of what to do. So you're trying to work with the school and know that you got things that you got to work with at home. So it's like you're training everybody else around you.
Wow.
To be that team.
Wow.
Because the team has to be educated.
Right.
They see his actions of something that's going on, and they're like, want to discipline him. That you need to sit down right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
And when they see me, a lot of people are so amazed that I can look at them and just say 1, 2, 3, and he brings it down. But it was something I had to learn that, okay, what can I do? And it was something that simple.
Wow.
It was really something that simple. My son, it's amazing because he does come from an abuse situation. So that, in return, I had to learn.
Wow.
Where here you're building on something else with this child.
Yeah.
Where being combative with him, I realized was taking him back to his abuse days. One thing about autistic children, their memory about stuff is amazing.
Yes.
It's truly amazing where they can give you little details when they were babies and things like that. So their mind is truly amazing. And I think it's so much going on that it's just putting it together. That's why they always say the puzzle pieces.
Right.
Because it's them trying to figure out how to connect all this together, because their mind is constantly, where we can zen, relax, and say, hey, I'm not going to do this today, I'm just going to.
Right.
They're constantly, how do I do this, how do I do this? And I'm over here doing this, but I want to think about going over here, but I wonder if I can go outside and I want something to eat.
Right.
and then put that all together.
Yeah, trying to make everything fit when it needs to fit.
How does it fit?
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Amazing.
So, but that, and you know, as a parent, you've got to keep up with all that. No, you can't go outside right now. No, you need to sit down and eat. You can go over here when you finish eating. Where's your shoes at? I told you your shoes are over here. Now you can go outside in 5 minutes. You know?
Wow.
So it's a constant thing, but you know, it has taught me so much.
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It teaches you to value life in such a way where, you know, you see this child that, and a lot of autistic children just are really enjoy just life.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have, you know, even there are times when they do have situations where they do get upset and that, but really, they just want to be happy. Like all of us.
Right, right.
You know?
Right.
But it's like, it just, to me, it just amazes me of how they can be upset 1 minute and want to tear up your house and throw over chairs and flip and step over and everything. And the next minute they're right underneath you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
And often, I mean, they don't.
They don't.
They don't. They don't.
He has a fascination with wrestling. So I learned those times when he was being destructive, it wasn't him. It was that person he thought he was. So he saw the John Cena's and The Rock on the TV flipping over a chair, flipping over a table, breaking a chair. And that's what he thought, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to be John Cena.
Right.
So John Cena, thank you.
Or not. Or not. So let me ask you a question. A lot of autistic children, they have to change their diets.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's hard. It really is hard because I've tried the gluten-free, there's the kinetic diet. So it really is hard because you have to go out there to purchase these things, and you are, you know, constantly, and now they have things that you can say it's the gluten-free aisle, you know.
Right.
So you've got to make sure that you, but then you bring it home to fix these things for your child, and they're like, what is this?
Right.
I ain't eating this.
Right.
So, you know, so I've done it. I've done it. But you just kind of have to watch what they eat. You know, he doesn't drink a lot of sodas, or he doesn't drink sodas at all.
Good.
Sodas at all. He's you know, we're a juice and water family. Even dairy products. Don't do a lot of dairy products because a lot of dairy products sometimes can affect them in different ways. So don't do a lot of dairy products. So yeah, the diet is very, very a big thing on it. You know, and then because of that, he has a seizure disorder. Of course, I do have to have him on, you know, medication for seizures.
Gotcha.
So the seizures, the medication for the seizures, you know, sometimes it decreases his appetite, sometimes it increases. So we go through that roller coaster ride as well, where 1 minute, you know, he'll go on a fixation where all he wants is pizzas every single day. So my freezer is loaded up with pizzas. And so I'm putting the pizza, because I don't even have to ask what do you want. Put the pizza in, and then he's looking at it, I don't want that on a hot dog. Then you go through a whole 2 weeks, just hot dogs. You put in that hot, he's like, I don't want no hot dog, can I get? And so it's like, and people say, you know, why do you get into it? He should eat whatever you cook. You can do that, but you don't waste food. You can't force anyone to eat, but you don't want to see your child starve themselves, or you know. So you just like, hey, this is the routine, and they have a routine. They have a routine. I remember one time I told him wipe his face, and I have the paper towels here, and I moved them just to clean that area, and I said, get yourself a paper towel, and he stood there because in his mind, that's where they're supposed to be. And I said, they're right there to your right. And he kept saying, well, where? And kept reaching. And I moved him over to his hand. He's like, oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so the mind knows that's where it's supposed to be. So you have to keep, and it seems like a little OCD with them as well, because you have to keep things in that order for them to operate.
Yeah.
For them to function. You know, we know if our things have been moved.
Right.
It won't pass. We move our stuff.
Right. Oh yeah, I know that.
But if you move their toothbrush, if you move their, you know, anything, it's a bad day. It's a bad day. I can't go out and buy Crest toothpaste. It has to be Colgate. If it's not Colgate, will not brush his teeth.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, do you know why?
No.
Or is, okay.
And again, I don't know if it's because he saw that on television, so he's fixated by Colgate.
Wow.
There was something about the Colgate, you know, so if I buy Crest, what is this? I can't brush my teeth with this.
And I'm pretty sure they're visual.
Yeah.
They're very visual.
Very
so
visual.
You're right. So if they get connected to a vision, then that's what it is. That's it.
And I don't want to change. And I've tried it. Believe me, I've tried. Because I thought, oh, I don't like this because it's the minty taste and all this stuff. This is not Colgate and will not brush his teeth. So again, I'm stocked with Colgate. I'm stocked with toothbrushes. Because after a while, that toothbrush is no good anymore. And I will not brush my teeth. Which is a good habit, you know, that we should probably all do. But again, it's a fixation where, you know, I already used this. Or if someone goes in the bathroom, do they touch my toothbrush? So you gotta make sure things are put up. So that way he knows that nope, nobody touched it. It's okay. And if he thinks someone touched it, he won't use it. Will not touch it.
Wow. This is amazing. So let me just ask you about your specific team. Who do you have that you can go immediately to when you are having, let's say, a rough day, but you don't want to display that in front of your son? So who is your support team?
I'm really still developing it.
Okay.
Truthfully.
Okay.
Because I have, you know, he has therapists right now, so I can actually call her and say, hey, you know, I know you're coming this day. Can you take him for a ride? Can you maybe do the therapy in the office? Or, you know, maybe go for a walk. So it gives me an hour
to get yourself
just to get myself. And that hour alone is a lot. It really is a lot. You know, because even like people say, well, when you go to work, you know, but when you go to work, you're constantly thinking, what's going on? Is he okay? The school is calling you. So it's not.
You don't have that downtime because you're always on.
I'm always on. So, you know, but, you know, even like I have neighbors where I can call and just say, hey, do you mind if he can come over and just, he wants to play with your son for an hour.
Right.
So that's good for me. You know, and even though he's across the street, again, that 1 hour. If I don't do anything or if I'm just cleaning the house, it's just that hour of relief and just a little bit of peace, you know, that I can get for myself. You know.
Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Derek is going to tell us and show us his book that he has, and then he has another project that he's working on. So we definitely want to bring that to light. So we'll be right back. You're watching Melanie's Matters TV and radio show. A word from our sponsors.
Hi, my name is Tanya Lanier, owner and operator of Fresh Start, formerly known as Chelsea's. I've been in business for over 20 years. I do run 3 locations. The newest location is 137 Main Street. We do have a state-approved curriculum, which is Horton Mifflin. We focus on education and nutrition. We also focus on informing our parents of all upcoming new laws, because we are here not only to educate the children, educate our staff and our parents. We believe that all children can learn, and we do not believe that children cannot be taught the proper things that they need to take them through life. That's why we here at Fresh Start, formerly known as Chelsea's, we're here to give your child a fresh start.
To enroll your child into our Learning Center, call 443-522-2678. J&F Enterprises, bringing visions to reality, building the 21st century company. Visit jnfenterprises.com. You had a long day at work. Now it's time to chill out and relax. But don't forget to grab your bottle of Spirits or More alcoholic beverage. Order your bottle by calling 443-790-6303. Atypical Journey, 10 true stories women will relate and men will understand. Atypical Journey is now available on Amazon.com or melaniesworks.com. So, you need a vehicle. Well, come on, baby, and ride with the King. Visit King Motors. They're located at 5905 Liberty Road. And you can also check out their inventory by visiting www.king-motors.com. Give Justin a call. He'll help you out. His phone number is 410-277-4545. Join Lawn Jack every third and fourth Thursday of every month for costume karaoke. For more information, visit www.lawnjackevents.com. Kaj, bringing back black hair care products to the African American community, located at 4626 York Road. Researchers have concluded that 4 boys to every 1 girl is diagnosed with autism. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and before the break, Derek, he's just educating us. I mean, this is like, it's amazing, and every time I hear stories about parents and their kids who have autism, it's just amazing. My mouth just flips open, you know, because, I mean, it's incredible to me. It's incredible. I was first introduced to autism back in the early 90s. A guy that I was dating, his son was diagnosed with autism. Mm-hmm. We didn't know, like you said, we didn't know what it was. Like, what is it? And so when he called me and he told me, I said, what the heck is that? And I remember a football player or a baseball player, his son was diagnosed with it. So that's when it started to gain attention because of the football or baseball player. I don't remember his name. And so we had to learn, you know, because the behavior piece came into play. And I remember, you know, discipline was a big thing between the son, the mother, and the dad. It was a big thing. And so they had to like learn, and thank God they had the support of his mom, who was phenomenal. She did all the steps to, you know, get him diagnosed and everything, because we just didn't understand.
And you said one thing, and like we're talking about the team, and you know, different people discipline them.
Yeah.
You all have to learn to discipline the same way.
Yes.
So if you say, if he does this, just remember that, you know, you got to do it this way.
Right.
You know.
Very good point.
It's everybody has to learn that this is how we do it. This is what you say. You know. This is how you should, you know, if they want their plate a certain way.
Yeah.
That, you know, but it has to be consistent.
And it has to be consistent, I think, because you don't want that behavior to spike.
Right.
And you don't want your child to regress. And it's something that you have to learn, though.
You know what scares me in this world today? You know, here in 2015 is, you know, you hear all the things that are going on with our children being shot and things like that. Yeah. And you have an autistic child.
Yes. Yeah.
And one day they have a behavioral problem. Yeah. And they go out and they're screaming or yelling, and a police officer is telling them to stop. A police officer is telling them don't do that. And they don't know.
They don't know.
Your child is autistic.
They don't know.
Well, that young man has autism. And that child is not understanding
your commands.
And tell them what to do.
Wow.
So you keep your child pretty much sheltered, you know, but you want them to learn everything. So it's such a...
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It
really is, because I see those things going on in the world, and I'm thinking, what if he was out one day, even as a 14-year-old, you know, and just out somewhere, and he just kind of, you know, had an issue, and a police officer saw that, and the first thing he's telling him to stop, and he's like, don't touch me, don't do, and he sees that as being aggressive.
But you know what, I know and I don't know the number, but I can only imagine that there have been cases like that. We just don't know about it.
We don't know about it.
So maybe this can be an effort for the police department. I know they already have a load on them, but if they can understand some of these issues and concerns and diagnosis of people, maybe some of these things won't happen. Maybe some of these deaths won't happen. Because they should be trained to see, you know, certain traits, certain things. Something is
there has to be educational courses where to say, okay, I have to deal with this person,
this
female
way.
or male, a little different.
Yes.
You know, and our females, you know, I've learned to have aggression and different things, but they deal with it in a different way. Then our male autistic children, you know, have more of an aggression about themselves. So it can be a little, you know, different.
Okay. All right. I'm glad that we put that out there, because again, this forum is to learn, to educate. You know, that is what we do here. So Derek has a book.
Yes.
And the book is called "Don't Call Me Different, I Just Do It Differently." And show everyone that book. You guys, please go support this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay. Please support this book. I got it from Derek, last year, I think, last winter. My 8-year-old daughter read it. It is a good read. What I like about it is that not only does it talk about or reads about autism, just about being different. Because our kids today have issues when you're talking about bullying and things like that. You know, and that's what the book to me speaks about.
Right.
It really encompasses that. Yeah.
Because like this friend I was telling you that lives across the street is not autistic, and I was kind of concerned how they were going to interact, and he's really, really good with my son. Good. So that again, I was like, you know, he didn't treat him different. You know, he just understands that he does it just a little differently than me, but he's not different. He still likes to play the Wii. He still eats like I eat. He still, you know, he's still a boy like I'm a boy. You know, but there's just different things how he may perceive the way you perceive. He's 14 years old. he still likes to watch SpongeBob. You know, even though a lot of adults do that, but he still likes to sleep with a stuffed animal. Where your normal 14-year-old, well, they don't want to tell you, but they try to tell you, you know, they don't do that kind of stuff anymore. So, you know, he just does things just a little bit different. And in my book, I always said that we have to teach the way they learn. You know, we can't force them to learn the way we do. I can't teach, you know, if I'm trying to teach him to read or teach him math or something, the way I learned it. I have to teach the way that he can learn. You know, I have to go to his level. If I have to use flashcards, and I remember one day someone came to my house, they was like, this is like the color purple in here, because I had words all over on the window, on the TV, on the table. So, because every time he looked at it, he would say, oh, that's table. That says window. Because he can look at it and know that oh, that's the window. So, it's just things like that you have to do.
Amazing. And you can get this book on Amazon through your website. What's your website?
It's www.DerrickDDixon, that's DerrickDDixon.com.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Please support this book. I think it's an excellent read for you and your child to sit down and just, you will learn something. Trust me, you will learn something. And Derrick has another project that he's working on. So what is that about?
I have, I'm a playwright as well. So I do have a play that I'll actually have auditions, casting call for my play today. And it's called Wounded. And, you know, wounded to me is like whatever aspect in life. If it was been in relationships, if it's been with friendships, if it's been with your family, and even in your church. We've all been wounded somehow, some way. And the play is not feel sorry for myself. You know, we've been wounded, so how do you move on past that?
Wow. And we need that.
I've been there.
I've been there.
And I've even, you know, got to a point where I don't want to go to church anymore. I don't want to be around this person anymore. But then I thought, I am stifling myself by having my pity party, living underneath a rock while they are going on with their life.
Hello.
And you see them going down the street, and you mad. I remember Oprah one time said, a friend of hers that heard her was walking down the street one day, and she saw her across the street, and she was laughing and giggling and everything.
Happy.
And she was mad because she was happy. And I said, wow, we do that. It's like, how dare they be happy when they hurt me? And I thought, how do we get past that? You know, but I thought it's something that's going on again in the world today, that so many people are hurting about so much stuff. How do we learn to forgive? How do we learn to move on and say, you know, it's okay for me to be happy. It's okay for me, you know, I don't have to be in your presence every day, but if I see, it's okay to say hello, how you doing? Because I'm not going to mess up, you know, what God's blessed me with, because I'm walking around mad at you.
That's right. And that's a learned process. I
It
think
really is.
It definitely is. And
It took me some time. It took me some time. And now I can say I'm such in a good place. Even though when things do get to me, I'm big on Facebook. And I wrote on my Facebook page, I don't mind now when doors have been closed on me, because the door that I may have walked in may keep me in bondage. So you have to learn that, you know, even though there's a door open, it's not always the right one to open up. You better listen to what God is telling you, because the doors that you're trying to think that you should go into is going to hold you in bondage and keep you to a place where you shouldn't be.
Wow. And I know we're kind of getting off on a tangent, just a tad bit, ladies and gentlemen, but sometimes somebody needs to hear the message. Okay. And I absolutely agree with what you said, but I just want to add to that. We have to learn to listen to God.
We have to.
We have to get in a space that's so quiet, that's just nothing but you and your God, whoever your God is, whoever whoever you serve.
Right.
And you have to be so attentive and you have to be so studious. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. And when you talked about the doors that you bang on to go through, and then you finally go through them, and then you're stuck.
You're stuck. You are stuck.
And you're like, how did I get here?
But you chose it.
But you didn't listen.
You didn't
listen.
You wanted to do it your way, the fast way, the easy way. So take your time and listen.
I'm telling you, I've learned so much. I've just learned so much. And just in the last year. I have really learned to, like they say, and I really didn't understand when the elders would say, walk by faith.
Yes.
Walk by faith.
Yep.
Because every time you walk by sight,
oh my gosh.
Every time
everything
you walk
that you see
by sight
is not good for you or made for you. It's just not.
Okay, look, we got all
we went a little church there, but
it's all good because I know that message will help somebody. I know that.
And the play, if you guys follow me on Facebook, it's Derek Durrell Dixon. Durrell is Durrell, and it'll either come up my Facebook page or my fan page. I put everything on there. Follow me on Facebook, and you'll see when my plays are coming up or different projects that I'm doing. We're also doing the second annual Stomp the Runway for Autism. And
when is that?
It's going to be September 26th.
Good. Okay.
And it's a fantastic fashion show that we put on. And I mean, we do top notch. It's very professional.
And you partner with who? Who do you
Autism Speaks.
Okay.
So everything that we do is charity, and we do it for Autism Speaks. And that's going to be September 26th. We did find a venue already. It's the Culture Arts Center downtown.
Oh, great.
So it's a great space. So again, follow me on Facebook, Derek Durrell Dixon, and you will, everything that I do, you'll see it on there.
Great. So ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. I'll have all the information at the top or the bottom of the screen. So if you didn't grab it, I'll make sure that you grab it. Derek, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right,
I appreciate
absolutely.
Thank
all
you.
right, take care.